Well, John West chaired the West Committee, which is the committee that recommended to Hollings the establishment of the system. So he had a very close relationship with the technical college system. And when he was governor, basically the budget requests of the technical colleges went to the top of the list. And that was when much of the success of the technical college system came about, was under John West as governor.
I was in Miami, Florida on business and got a phone call. Wade Martin had died. I just couldn't believe it. I got the first plane I could catch and went over to his house, and it turned out that he had a 7-hour heart attack on his den couch. Mary, why didn't you call an ambulance? Well, Wade said, don't do it. When Wade said, don't do it, nothing happened. He could have been alive today had he got a response when he first had the attack. A tremendous loss. We had nobody that was capable of managing that emerging enterprise. Wade Martin could do the work and intellectually of a half dozen men.
Some folks compared him to P.T. Barnum. They said if you want to know Wade Martin, go study P.T. Barnum, but he was quite a showman, and that's what it took. I mean, it took a lot of that to get this thing off the ground.
Of all the community colleges we visited in California, 10 or 15, the College of San Mateo, by far the most successful. The manager was one tough guy, Julio Bartolozzo. When Wade died, we got together, and if we could get that fella Bartolozzo over here, I think it would be great. And I got in the state plane and flew out to San Francisco. No, I'm not coming. I'm retired. I don't want to leave California. We went back and recharged our batteries again and flew back a second time. And he said, okay, I'll come, but I want a Bartolozzo blue Buick automobile. I want my carpet in my condo carpeted Bartolozzo blue, and this, that, and the other. To satisfy his ego, we did everything just as so.
He was an amazing guy. He got to work every morning about 6 o'clock, and he expected everyone else to get to work at 6 o'clock. He would pick up the phone 7:30 in the morning, call the University of South Carolina president or call the head of the Senate.
He's the kind of fellow that, unlike Wade Martin would discuss and question and think about things and communicate. Bartolozzo's, no, I don't need any help, I've been there.
Bartolozzo became very frustrated in how he viewed the state in terms of movement of the state. He wanted to come in and just change it overnight. His intentions, I think, were good, but his methods were not good. So within just a few months, he had turned everyone against him.
In San Francisco, where the College of San Mateo is located, they were used to fighting their wars publicly. In the University of South Carolina, you don't do that. In South Carolina particularly, you don't do that. He got into a dispute with the university saying that you should combine the university branches with the technical college system as best we could and form a network of community colleges. But the university was beholden to the politicians of the two-year branches of the university.
And there's some paranoia, I think, on the part of the USC, in that they were afraid that if a comprehensive system of community colleges would be put in place, it would give a stronger political base than the University of South Carolina would have.
Bartolozzo just got into on television and on radio and just pounded his ideas, which were philosophically correct. I was in Bangor, Maine for a week. When I got home Friday night, my wife had a paper Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday lined up on the sofa. And the headlines Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Good gosh. I said, what in the world's happened? I called him up. And he said, where the hell you been? Why didn't you support me? I said, Dr. Bartolozzo, they don't print the state newspaper in Bangor, Maine. I didn't know a damn thing about it. But your secretary had my itinerary. Why did you call me? You didn't support me. This board didn't support me. I want to meet with you. I said, fine. When you want to meet? 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Fine. I'll be there at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock I was there. He's like a bull behind the desk. He's a big burly guy. He said, you let me down. I said, I didn't let you down. I didn't know anything about it until I got back home. He said, I want to speak to your governor. I said, okay. Call him up. Borlaug didn't know it, but I knew it. John West got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I called him and he was awake. I said, Governor, Dr. Borlaug wants to speak to you. He says, put him on. Dr. Borlaug said, I'm going to quit. You didn't support me. Nobody supported me. I stand out there by myself. Governor West says, come by my office. I'll call somebody in and we get your check written. And Dr. Borlaug was stunned for a minute, but he resigned. He wanted to go back to California, and we wanted him to go back at that time, but it put us in one hell of a fix.
He turned a lot of people against him, and within about a 3-month time frame, he left the system. In a sense, pushing so hard, trying to get the technical college system to become a community college system, and that was his charge and his plan. He turned a lot of people against the whole idea of community college because their fear was that the system would lose its focus and would lose the gains that had been made as a technical college system and become strictly a transfer college system, as was the case in a number of other states. They did not want to see that happen in South Carolina. Stan Smith, who was the original chair of the state board, took a year of leave from his business and without compensation worked as the system executive director during that transitional period to get things redirected and moving on forward again. Then in 1972, the legislation was changed to move the advisory committee that was the governing board of the system from out from under the State Department of Education into its own board, the State Board for Technical and Comprehensive Education. And when that legislation was written, it greatly broadened the perspective of the technical college system, and it established the base for the institutions to be comprehensive. So whatever they were called, they were comprehensive institutions, and they could have been called community college, technical and community college, community and technical college. But many people in leadership positions in the state very jealously guarded the word technical because they thought to not have technical in the name would diminish the potential of the technical college system in its potential to attract major employers into the state of South Carolina.
I lived through the days when counselors used to tell students, if you don't do better, you're going to either end up at the technical school or the reformatory.
We were thought of as vocational. Parents didn't want their children going to a technical institution. They thought that all we did was welding and auto mechanics and plumbing and things of that nature.
It was perceived as something other than the best choice for students, and we were not considered to be colleges.
I was hired by Stan Smith in '72, in that period when he was hiring folks with doctorates. John West had a lot to do with my coming here. John West was personally interested in creating a really comprehensive community technical college system. He said, well, when I leave the governor's office, I'm going to be in Kershaw County, and I'll help you if you go to something. And I took that as a pretty good invitation. And I came to take a technical education center at Sumter and make it a true college level institution with an emphasis on career and technical education. The goal was to get the college accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. And we went to work on getting the college organized like a college and then getting accredited. We were organized like a vocational high school, but they had some quality people on the faculty who knew what they were supposed to do and were very, very competent and very supportive of all the things we had to do to get accredited.
I walked into a school that was just shifting towards becoming a college. And one of the things they wanted me to do was help develop what was going to be needed on the general education side of the house. And I worked myself from morning till night at that institution. Now, what did I learn during all of that time? What I learned was that South Carolina was very interested in moving the state ahead as far as its citizens were concerned. Working with the economic development people there, including special schools, which is now Ready SC, really opened my eyes to what South Carolina was trying to do for itself. Really attempting to bring itself at that time into the 20th century and I was extremely excited about it.
I think the ability to provide an incoming employer with ready, trained employees is the biggest sales tool we have in attracting a new industry, new business.
We had a lot of industries moving in across the state. They were not huge numbers into the thousands, but they were anywhere from 50 to 200 employees apiece initially, and then as they grew, they added a number of others. And I think across the state of South Carolina, if you look from the mid-1970s up until the mid-1980s, you had large numbers of those smaller companies that were coming in and being located across the state of South Carolina. At that point, South Carolina, through its technical college system, had an edge in that we had the reputation of having the finest technical college system in the country, being the most responsive to new employers that were coming in.
When someone walks in and they say, I've got this new thing that I'm doing and I need to have people trained to do it, we can get people in and get them trained and out the door before most other educational institutions figure out what really is needed and how it should be done.
When the economic developers would go out, they would give the references of the companies that had moved in, and we were all getting glowing reports about how well the people of South Carolina were trained for the jobs that were available.
At Springs, at one point, we employed 19,000 South Carolinians. Many years were the largest employer in the state. And as a result of that, one of my early memories of the system goes back to special schools. And I can remember many times in our manufacturing operations, we would need to expand and grow and add jobs. And special schools were always there with us and always there ready. And it was a seamless relationship. The part that impressed me most was, it was almost like the special schools were part of the overall manufacturing process. They were right there, they worked together, they knew what they were doing, and they were well prepared and well trained. And I think that the technical college system, through the special schools program, had a tremendous positive impact on a lot of manufacturing expansion and a lot of manufacturing sustainability in our state in those days.
I was actually an undergraduate at Clemson back in the late 60s, early 70s, when the system was really beginning to take hold and take off, and just immediately became captivated by what it was, the way I understood it at that time, and the potential for helping the state, and decided this is what I wanted to do. This was kind of my life's calling. I went right into a master's program at Clemson after I finished the baccalaureate. In every course we had to write papers, and every time I had that opportunity, mine were all about the technical college system in South Carolina. I was reading in those days, I think it was Impact magazine was the publication that came out of the system office, and studied it cover to cover, and got familiar with some of the leadership by name and by reputation. And those guys, Tom Barton, Stan Smith, Wade Martin, Lex Walters, they were my heroes. I didn't have rock star heroes. I didn't have professional athlete heroes. My heroes were the original leaders in the technical college system, and I looked up to those folks so much. For my first job in the system, it was at Piedmont Technical College. I went in there as an admissions counselor / field representative, which basically meant I was out across the 7 counties that Piedmont Technical College serves, just pitching the college and going into high schools and telling high school students the benefits of the technical college, and just had a ball. I remember days, many days, driving out into the hinterlands of Saluda County and Newberry County thinking, I cannot believe that they pay me to do this. I'm having so much fun. Occasionally I'll bump into somebody who will say, I remember when you were an admissions counselor at Piedmont Technical College in Greenwood, and you helped me get in and helped me get into the right program. And it's just made all the difference in my life. And for me at that time, that was really it. It was about helping individuals get into those programs and about finding careers and so forth.
Just the energy that you would see within the technical college system. People really believed in what they were doing. They were excited about what they were doing. They didn't mind sharing what they were doing, and that enthusiasm was contagious. They would come in and see what was here, and that enthusiasm would just carry over, and I'm sure it benefited many states across this nation.